Hi guys, it's Michaela and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another makeup monthly for the month of August. I can't believe we are already in September. It just seems crazy to me how fast the year has gone. But I'm going to go over some purchases. I'm going to do a brief overview of some Boxycharms. I didn't do an official unboxing this month. I just did a shorts on it. So I wanted to go over some thoughts. And I've got a couple of empties which I'm always excited to share because it means I'm using what's in my collection. But let's start with purchases. I've got 4 purchases, starting with a point perk. I got the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum, and I really do like it. I think it reminds me of the Becca Glow Primer, but just a little bit more richer, at least when I put it on the skin. I don't really have too many thoughts on this, but it goes on glowy. I like the way my makeup sits on top of it. I love how my skin looks with it. I'm debating putting this in with just kind of like my glowy, like to mix in with foundations and stuff, but I've been using it as a primer, and I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about it. I wouldn't say it's life-changing, but it's good. Next, I found the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Foundation and Skincare at Sephora for 50% off. I also saw that it was on sale at Ulta's website, so I don't know if it's being discontinued or if it was just on sale or not. So, little backstory, I had one of their CC creams a few years ago, and I absolutely hated it, and I haven't bought another foundation purchase of any type from IT Cosmetics since then, because I feel like that really kind of deterred me from their foundation line. However, I picked this up like kind of expecting not to love it, and this might just be holy grail makeup status for me. I love this. If you can get your hands on it, I would. But it just glides onto my skin. It looks like nothing on the skin. The shade I got is Fair Warm 12. They didn't have a shade a little bit deeper without it being too deep for my skin tone. I normally go for like a light neutral style of shade, but this, the way it blends into my skin, seems to be a fine shade match for me. I thought it was going to be too fair, but it's really not. So it is a medium coverage foundation, like a lightweight to medium coverage, but because it does blend into the skin, I feel like there's some give in terms of shade range if you get a shade that's not quite perfect, because again, I would have typically gone for something a little bit deeper, and it doesn't seem to be bad on my skin tone. I take into account that it could be the pregnancy making my skin a little bit different, because I've noticed that when I am pregnant, my skin just gets a little bit different. But overall, I like this. This could very well be like holy grail makeup status for me. The third item I purchased is the Westman Atelier. It's the lit stick. Let's see, what shade do I have? It's in the shade Nectar. I just got a miniature size. I didn't want a full size. I didn't need a full size. But holy cow, this is so beautiful. It's the cream highlighter. I wear it on top of my cheek products. I wear it underneath my cheek products. I haven't worn it underneath foundation, but I feel like it gives my skin like the perfect amount of highlight. The shade's not too deep for me. It's got like a very pinky, kind of almost a golden shift to it. It looks very much like it could be a blush topper. Again, another potential holy grail highlighter status, because just the flawlessness of the highlight I get in the glow on my face that I get from this without it looking super glittery or super out of place, or you know, sometimes with highlighters I feel like they can tend to look a little bit out of place on the face, but this just looks like one with my skin, and it just looks like the sun hits it absolutely perfectly. The last item, a little bit of a funny story. This was actually a guilt gift from my husband. We got in a very minor argument. Nothing went out of proportions. It was just one of those, like, he saw things one way, I saw things another way. We were mad at each other for like an hour tops. And he called me and he's like, babe, why don't you go ahead and just purchase something just to make sure like our cards are working. Like, he had lost his wallet. We were trying to make sure everything was okay and set, and like my cards were all working and stuff. And so he's like, I need you to just check and make sure. Why don't you order something online? I'm like, well, of course I'm gonna order makeup, because makeup's like my favorite like guilt purchase to buy. So I ended up picking up the Elevate Beauty Matte Lip Edit. This is the third one that I own now. This is in the shade Grace. which kind of goes in with the theme of our fight. Grace had to be involved. Again, I don't think it was one person's fault over another, but he just one of those things where it's like we needed to test out and make sure that our cards were working fine, and I got lipstick out of it. So needless to say, another Holy Grail lip product. This is my third one of these. I really like Elevate Beauty, what they stand for. They are a very strong Christian brand who stands for the Lord, who stands for women and women pursuing Christ, and the shade Grace just goes along perfectly with the argument that we have, so it all kind of works itself out. But for me, this particular shade actually replaces the Urban Decay Vice Lipstick in Liar. I had panned that one 2 years ago now. I haven't repurchased it, but I have been wanting a shade like it, and this one is from a brand that I wholeheartedly support 100%. I have no reservations about supporting this brand, and it's the shade I am wearing on my lips today, and I feel like it is my perfect pinky nude, so it does replace that shade Liar. Plus the formula is just, it's a comfort matte, it lasts all day. It's just, I will continue to purchase these, and I want to get every shade, I just haven't done it yet, but I want to continue to purchase these. So the fact that I was able to get one of these, and it just kind of goes along with the theme of our little argument, just makes it that much more sweet, even the shade name itself. So I am 100% happy to be having this. That's everything that I purchased for the month. I've got some Boxycharm items. One of them is a hair care product that I just haven't tried yet, just because I haven't gotten around to trying it, so I'm not going to include that in this, but just some Boxycharm thoughts. I got the Murad Environmental Shield Essential C Toner, and this smells like orange juice. It takes me a long time to determine whether or not I like skincare, but it smells like orange juice. It smells like oranges, which I am loving right now. I am loving anything citrus taste, anything citrus. It's like a pregnancy craving. So the fact that I can wear this and I can smell it, and typically I don't like fragrance in my makeup, but this I am making an exception for, so pregnancy all the way. But I do like this and I am enjoying using it. I feel like the bottle, I hate having to like dip it out onto like a beauty blender and having to tap it into my face or a cotton round, and I don't like that there's not a stopper in it, but other than that, like I can work with it. I am enjoying using this toner. I've been getting into toners a lot lately. However, this is the second one I think we've gotten in Boxycharm in the last couple of months, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. That was not a personal pick. That was a it was one of their picks for my box this month. So if I continue to get these items, I might go ahead and just retake the quizzes. But yeah, I'm liking it. And then the Hydrate London Brazilian Glow Face Palette. It's not my favorite palette, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the transition shade and the bronzer shade are too similar in tone. I would have loved to see this shade be like a deep brown, so I can use this as a transition shade. Overall, I can't really get my brushes and like the blush and highlight, so they're a little bit small for pans. The eyeshadows are pretty, they're kind of okay for me. Not my favorite. I mean, formula wise it's fine, but just the layout of the palette needed a lot of help. So I'm not mad to have this in my collection, it's just not my favorite item. And then the next item was another choice. It's the Hydrate London. It is their Olive 9-pan eyeshadow palette. And this one I actually really do like. I love the tones in here. This shade here came shattered. I think it was a shipping issue on the Boxycharm. I don't think their packaging is really that well packaged. So, and I've heard a lot of people complain about it. So I'm hoping they'll fix that issue, but this was nothing I couldn't fix with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. If you'd like a tutorial on repressing eyeshadows, it's super easy, let me know. Or just powders in general. It doesn't have to be limited to eyeshadows, but it's super easy. The formula doesn't change. I had to do a little bit of cleanup when I got this, but nothing I couldn't work with myself. And again, the color stories, I've been really like into like green and rosy tone eyeshadows lately, so I'm happy to have this in my collection. And the last Boxycharm item, I am so happy that I got this. It's from Pat McGrath. I've been like really wanting to try more from Pat McGrath. I own a couple of things from them, but I find myself having a taste for luxury makeup these days, which is probably very, very, very bad for my bank account. But I got the Pat McGrath. It's the liquid lipstick in the shade Nocturnal Amour. I love this. It feels like a stain on the lips. It doesn't feel too drying. I only wore it once, but the one time I did wear it, like the shade is pretty. I think it'll go really well with the holiday season coming up. It's not transfer proof. It lasts all day. It lasts really well. I'm not really having to reapply it. As with any lipstick, including the one from Elevate Beauty, you know, you eat, you drink, you got stuff you're doing, you're gonna have to reapply it. But overall, like fading wise, if I don't do much of that, I really don't have to reapply either one of these at all. And again, the staying power is really good and lasts a long time, as long as you're not eating and drinking much. But again, just it's lipstick, you know, you can't really go about it, and you need to be able to eat and have water and stay hydrated. But other than that, I really like it. I like the formula, and I think it's amazing. And we've got 2 items that I have finished up this month. One is the Illamasqua Hydra Setting Spray. I really liked this. Would I consider repurchasing it? Maybe, maybe not. I've got some setting sprays that I want to work through, and also some other setting sprays on my wish list. But I wouldn't be opposed to repurchasing it if I were to find it on sale. I like it. I like it enough to potentially down the road have it in my collection. Would I say it's like Holy Grail, like status? No. Would I say it's like Urban Decay All Nighter or the Benefit Professional? No. But it does what I need it to do, and it lasts a while. My only issue is it kind of smells funny, and it smelled funny from the beginning, but formula wise it was fine. And this was a Boxycharm find, so at this point I don't plan on repurchasing it, but I don't see it never coming back into my collection, especially with as quickly as I go through setting sprays. And then the last item that I finished up is the Earth Harbor. It's the Superfruit Radiance Balm. This I thought was okay. I used it as my nighttime skincare, my nighttime moisturizer, and I felt like having, like when I applied it, it would come off in like little balls that I'd have to rub, and I had to get the oils out of, and then I'd have to put it all over my face, and then I'd have to like wipe it off with like a damp towel. So it was a little bit of a process, but overall it smelled nice. It felt good on the skin after I did all this stuff. I feel like it takes a lot of steps to get this to do what I want it to do, and for me it's just a little too much maintenance for what I want, especially when I'm just trying to get a little bit of skincare on before I go to bed at night. So that's my issue, so I would not repurchase this. Anyway, that is everything that I got in my Makeup Monthly this month. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I do videos focusing on beauty and lifestyle, and my goal on this platform is to share my love for beauty as well as my love for Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And I'm currently pregnant, and we are due with our little girl here very soon, so I've got a lot of that content on my channel and still some more to come, so stay tuned for those. But anyway, with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.